I'm Jennifer Morby.
And I'm Josh Warne. Our top stories for today.
How is £100,000 being spent in Lawdy Park?
A zero-waste shop in Walkden is helping the community to recycle.
And service dogs take a dip as they try new hydrotherapy classes.
Forget Boris bikes, Salford University will now see its very own bee bikes. Work on the new transport scheme, which was developed by the Mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham, will be introduced in the coming weeks. Our reporter, Harriet Heywood, went to Peel Park to hear the students' views on the bikes.
So most of us will be familiar with the Boris bikes and pay-to-use transport being drip-fed across England. And here in Greater Manchester and Salford, on the 18th of November, we'll have our very own Burnham bikes. There'll be 1,500 of the bikes rolled out across the region to encourage a more sustainable mode of transportation. However, here on the Peel Park campus at this docking station, there has been some confusion. This is because the campus is a no-cycle zone, and this has caused groups such as Walk and Ride in Salford to petition against the banning of cycling on campus to encourage the more sustainable transport. Salford University have said they're working hard to remove the ban, and today, there are no cycle signs on the campus, meaning that the bikes can join the e-scooters in providing a more sustainable method of transportation across Greater Manchester and Salford. However, which one would you rather use, the e-scooters or the bikes?
The scooters are more fun, but the bikes are like, it would be good as well to have an e-bike.
A bike, personally.
Whichever would be most eco-friendly, to be honest.
I just prefer scooters and bikes.
I'd rather use an e-scooter.
Any reason why?
Yeah, because it takes less effort and it's probably just as quick as well.
Okay. I'd rather use the scooters because it's eco-friendly and the airways of the circulation of the wind stops the radius of me moving the wheels.
So there's a definite interest in the bikes and still a demand for the e-scooters, but which one would you rather use? Tweet us at Salford Now and let us know.
Salford Council are hoping that the introduction of this bike will help everyone exercise. So do you think you'll be using these bikes anytime soon, Jen?
Well, I'm not sure yet, Josh, because obviously the Lime scooters are already in place and I haven't used them yet due to the cost versus how long it actually took to walk to the place. I do wonder though how this will increase traffic on the campus, for example for disabled students if they're trying to commute, because people go quite fast on these things, and what sort of restrictions will be in place to make sure everyone's safe?
Yeah, I think it would definitely probably encourage me to sort of get out more and exercise, because I am guilty of just getting either the tram or the bus to very close locations. If I now know that there's a cheap eco-friendly alternative such as these bikes, I'll then be able to cycle to university and hopefully get better exercise myself. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm prone to using Ubers all the time if I'm running late, and half the time buses are late, so this is something you can control yourself so you can get to lesson on time. So I think it's a great scheme, yeah. Yeah. And from Peel Park to Lawdy Park, this popular green space in Cadishead is undergoing major renovations. At a cost of around £100,000, the work is to be completed within 3 stages, with the first already being completed. Our reporter George Booth spoke to the Friends of Lawdy Park to find out more.
Local parks have been an integral part in British society for many years, but here in Cadishead, this new modern park hasn't always looked like this. Cadishead Recreation Playground, better known to locals as Lawdy Park, has just received an £80,000 makeover thanks to the hard work of the local community group Friends of Lawdy Park and local Labour councillor Lewis Nelson. This has been no easy process to achieve this remarkable new modern park, who many rely on as their only access to green space.
deserved something better, and that the park wasn't fit for purpose. So the Friends group was made. I was a member of the Friends group from the first meeting, before I became a councillor, and I've worked with them ever since around trying to get what we've got today. So I think the community are very pleased, and it is now a real asset to the community, and I think the proof is in how much it's being used and how much it's being appreciated by the local community.
Stage 1 of this refurbishment has cost between £80,000 to £100,000, and Friends of Lawdy Park are not trying to slow down yet, with Stage 2 of the park hoping to be added in the next 18 months. However, this time the money will have to be fundraised. Chair of the group, Craig Haven, has said meetings are already underway to achieve Stage 2. I met Craig, told me how he felt to achieve this new park for the local community.
Yeah, I must admit, there was goosebumps, there was tears on the day the old park was being demolished and the new one being opened and that. So yeah, very, very pleased. Yeah, we all are in the community, the group, the lot.
The first stage of this redevelopment here at Lawdy Park has gone off as a massive hit with the locals. With Stage 2 underway, £80,000 to £90,000 is being set to be raised. George Booth, KDZ, Salford.
Now, the Media City skyline is to be added to once more. Building developers CERT have applied to build a 30-storey Ulay Tower along the Clippers Quay, which will include 402 apartments.
Notorious Salford gangster Paul Doyle, also known as One Punch Doyle, is facing punishment for his new book, which discusses his previous crimes. The criminal has been moved from an open prison to the Category C HMP Hindley in Wigan and is serving 16 years for drug offences. He used his profits on an £800,000 home in a suburb of Altrincham.
Now, a Van Gogh Alive exhibition has come to Media City this week. The sensory experience includes digital imagery of the artist's work. The instalment is known to be the most visited, immersive, multi-sensory experience in the world.
Now, Jennifer, how environmentally friendly are you?
Well, Joshua, I do try to recycle where I can, but obviously there are different rules in terms of recycling. You know, a lot of stuff you can't recycle. I don't know if you found this.
Yeah, definitely. Coming from a county that I'd say is really good for recycling, I found it hard getting used to Salford County Council recycling, just being able to remember which plastics go in which bin, which does make it somewhat harder.
Yeah, it's very confusing. And also, I don't know about what it's like in your house, but we don't recycle food waste. Like, that's not a thing you can do. But yeah, I'd like to improve recycling, but I'm not as good as this shop that is in Walkden. I can say our reporter Jake Penkethman visited a zero waste store to learn how they're encouraging people to shop sustainably.
Packets, wrappers, plastics, we're all guilty of using them to some extent, but how much is too much? The dispensary shop in Walkden Town Centre is at the heart of Salford's contribution to moving towards a zero-waste lifestyle. And with the government set to unveil its budget this week, the shop is praying for an increase in funds to help climate change.
I think the idea of zero waste is still quite niche. That's why I really wanted to open here in Walkden, because everyone's like, oh, go to Chorlton, go to Didsbury. Yeah, sure, go to gentrified areas. I don't want to like sing to the choir. Yeah. I want to try and, you know, show people that we can all do this. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can, you know, it's about a change in mindset.
The dispensary here in Walkden is dedicated to helping educate the people of Salford as to why changing to a zero-waste lifestyle will go a long way when it comes to helping the planet. And this change in mindset gave Faye the push to overcome her anxieties by being a force for good within the Salford community.
I was getting climate anxiety. I was panicking, thinking, why can nobody else see what's going on? Like, you know, it was stressing me out. So I thought, right, I'm just going to open my own shop.
And for Faye, the results have been rewarding, with many returning customers who have banished the days of stocking up on shampoo bottles and jars of spices and have simply adopted to refilling their perfectly intact reusable containers. Now Faye's hoping that the shop and its lifestyle continues to grow.
I love it when we get new customers and they walk in and they say, oh, what's this? And I'm like, oh, I love being at the start of someone's journey. Any little thing that you do actually does make a difference. It does, obviously, do you know what I mean? It actually does, even though it sounds cringy. People choose it as an ethical option. They know it's not as convenient. They know that they're going to have to, you know, it's going to take a bit more time, but they do choose it. So that's one of my favourites, when I see like a young couple walking in and they just have the hand wash thing in the bottle and I'm like, yes, thank you so much.
Jake Pencuthman, Salford Now, Walkden.
Now those of us with dogs are probably no stranger to taking our furry friends out on walks. But have you ever considered taking your dog for a dip in the pool? Well, for one Salford assistant dog, it's her favourite activity to do. Katie Parry finds out why.
A dog in a pool. This certain activity is called canine hydrotherapy and it has many benefits. For Tinto, an assistant dog, it's not only her favourite weekly activity, but it has also helped her overcome a weakness in her front legs.
When I got her, I wanted something that was just for her, because her life is based around me. But by teaching her to swim the opposite direction, you're actually teaching her to use both sides. So when she jumps up at a light switch, she would at first favour just the right side, and that would hit the wall first, and it's her right leg that's weak. By getting her to swim left, she'll go for both, and she does now. So it's paid off.
Yeah. And right here behind me is Earlham Animal Clinic, where Tinto and other Salford dogs come for a dip in the pool for their hydrotherapy sessions. But what exactly are the benefits of hydrotherapy for a dog when you can just take them for a walk?
It's non-weight bearing, so there's no pressure on the joints, whereas all dogs exercise on land whether you take them for a walk. If you think when the paws are going down on the hard surface, that's then pressure on the bones, on the joints, on the ligaments, tendons, and if you've had surgery, having that just cause untold damage.
Would you say, like, you see a change in dogs, like, before hydrotherapy versus after?
100%. I've had dogs that barely walk and, you know, like, go upstairs. Not that I advocate that. But people saying that, oh yeah, you know, she's walking upstairs now, absolutely fine.
And for Tinto, she will certainly carry on her hydrotherapy sessions for as long as she can.
I don't think that dog will ever stop, and I think it's something that when she retires, if she goes to another retirement home, I'd have to tell them, you're going to have to keep this up. Definitely.
Now, wasn't that just a lovely story? Now,
Yes, it
Jen,
was.
I know you're a dog owner yourself, so would you ever think of taking it to hydrotherapy?
Definitely. Well, I own an English Springer Spaniel and she absolutely loves the water. We regularly take her to rivers and canals. And I know with my old dog, like, she had joint problems, and water is really useful in like soothing the joints because you're doing exercise in a way that doesn't put strain on your muscles and your joints. So I think it's really great, and those shots in that piece they're just so lovely, and we love dogs on this show.
Yeah.
So anyway, aside from the dogs, now the weather hasn't seemed too bad today, but we've got Sean, our reporter, to give you the latest weather update.
Alright guys, so I'm out here on Salford Quays, out by the waterfront, and I can tell you that the temperature at the minute is currently 13 degrees, and it definitely feels like that. You will want to get wrapped up if you're coming outside this evening. A lot of wind coming in, especially out here on the waterfront, and as you can see in the background, there is some rays of sunshine shining through the clouds, but for the most part, pretty grey skies. Dark overview, definitely fits in with Halloween week. Now tomorrow we are expecting lows of 8 degrees and highs of 16 with rain expected in the morning. So this Halloween week looks like the weather's giving us plenty of tricks but not a lot of treats. Back to you guys in the studio.
So hopefully it stays dry this weekend for those families hoping to go out trick-or-treating.
Yeah, well, I know there's a lot of family walks planned, so hopefully dry weather and no wellies needed for that. But anyway, that's all we have time for now. So don't forget to check out our stories on Salford Now Twitter at Salford Now. So Joshua, I hope you and all the other people at home have a lovely evening.
Exactly.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.